Hey, stop scrolling for just a second. If you're collecting Social Security, about to retire, or you have a loved one who depends on those monthly checks, this video could literally put more money in your pocket. The Social Security Administration has officially confirmed the 2026 cost of living adjustment, and your check is changing. But here's what most channels won't tell you. A bigger gross check does not always mean more money in your bank account. Between rising Medicare premiums, sneaky IRS tax thresholds, and inflation that just won't quit, the real number hitting your account might surprise you, and not always in a good way. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down every single dollar, what's going up, what's being taken away, and exactly what you need to do right now to make sure you keep every cent you're entitled to. I've got 7 strategies at the end that could save you thousands, so stick around until the very end. And real quick, if you're new here, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button right now. It takes 1 second, costs you nothing, and it helps this channel keep bringing you the most important Social Security updates before anyone else. We're building a community of informed Americans who refuse to leave money on the table, and I want you in it. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and let's dive in. All right, let's get right into the numbers. The Social Security Administration has officially set the 2026 cost of living adjustment at 2.8%. Now, that might sound like just a number, but let me put it into real dollars for you. For the average retired worker currently receiving around $2,640 a month, a 2.8% increase translates to roughly an additional $50 to $60 per month. That pushes the average monthly retirement benefit to approximately $2,720. Now let's zoom out. Over the course of a full year, that's an extra $600 to $720 in your pocket. Not life-changing on its own, but here's the thing. Every single dollar matters when you're on a fixed income, and this is money you are owed. It's not a bonus, it's not a gift from the government, it's an adjustment designed to help your purchasing power keep up with inflation. But let's be honest, does a 2.8% raise actually keep up with what you're spending at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, at the gas pump? For most retirees, the answer is no. The Consumer Price Index for Urban Wage Earners, or CPIW, which the SSA uses to calculate COLA, doesn't perfectly reflect the spending patterns of seniors. Things like healthcare, prescription drugs, and housing, which make up a massive chunk of retiree spending, have been rising much faster than the overall inflation rate. So while 2.8% is better than zero, and it's certainly better than the 1.3% we saw back in 2021, it may not fully cover the ground you've lost to rising prices over the past few years. Now, here's where things get interesting and where a lot of people get blindsided. You see, your Social Security check doesn't exist in a vacuum. For most beneficiaries, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted automatically from your monthly benefit before you ever see a dime. For 2026, Medicare Part B premiums are projected to increase to approximately $185 per month. That's up from the current $174.70. That's an increase of roughly $10 to $11 per month. So let's do the math together. Your COLA increase gives you about $50 to $60 more per month, but Medicare Part B takes back about $10 to $11 of that right off the top. So your net increase, the money you actually see deposited, drops to roughly $40 to $50 per month. Now, there is a protection in place called the hold harmless provision. This rule says that for most beneficiaries, your Social Security check cannot decrease from one year to the next due to a Medicare Part B premium increase. In other words, if the Part B increase would wipe out your COLA entirely, the premium increase gets limited so your check stays at least the same. But for most people receiving the 2.8% COLA, the premium increase won't trigger hold harmless. It will simply reduce your net gain. The bottom line, don't just look at the COLA percentage and celebrate. Look at your net deposit. That's the number that matters. This is the section that could save you the most money or cost you the most if you ignore it. A lot of people don't realize that Social Security benefits can be taxed by the federal government. And here's the kicker. The income thresholds that determine whether your benefits are taxable have never been adjusted for inflation. They were set back in 1983 and 1993, and they haven't moved a single penny since. Here's how it works. The IRS looks at something called your provisional income or combined income. This is your adjusted gross income plus any non-taxable interest plus 1/2 of your Social Security benefits. Once you calculate that number, here's where you fall. For individual filers, if your provisional income is below $25,000, your Social Security benefits are tax-free. Between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your benefits could be taxable. And above $34,000, up to 85% of your benefits could be taxed. For married couples filing jointly, below $32,000, you're in the clear. Between $32,000 and $44,000, up to 50% is taxable. And above $44,000, up to 85% could be taxed. Now, here's the problem. As COLA increases push your Social Security benefit higher each year, your provisional income goes up too. That means more and more retirees are crossing these thresholds and getting hit with taxes on their benefits for the first time, or seeing a larger percentage tax than before. This is what tax experts call bracket creep, and it is silently eating into the retirement income of millions of Americans. A $50 COLA increase sounds great, but if it pushes you over a threshold and suddenly 20 or 30% of your total benefits become taxable, you could actually end up with less after-tax income than before. This is exactly why planning matters, and I'm going to give you specific strategies to deal with this in just a few minutes. The COLA increase doesn't just affect retired workers, it ripples across the entire Social Security system. Let me walk you through the other categories. Spousal benefits. If you're collecting benefits based on your spouse's work record, your payment is also going up by 2.8%. The maximum spousal benefit is 50% of your spouse's full retirement benefit, and that 50% is calculated after the COLA is applied to the worker's benefit, so both the worker and the spouse see an increase. Survivor benefits. If you're a widow or widower collecting survivor benefits, your check also gets the full 2.8% COLA. For many surviving spouses, Social Security is their primary or even sole source of income, so this increase, while modest, is critically important. Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI. Disabled workers will also receive the 2.8% adjustment. The average SSDI benefit is currently around $1,540 per month, so beneficiaries can expect roughly an additional $40 to $45 monthly. Supplemental Security Income, SSI. SSI recipients will see the same 2.8% increase apply to the federal benefit rate for 2026. The maximum federal SSI payment for an individual is expected to rise to approximately $967 per month, and for couples to approximately $1,450. It's important to note that SSI has different eligibility rules and income limits than Social Security retirement or disability benefits. If you're on SSI, the COLA also adjusts the income thresholds, so make sure you review your eligibility and report any changes in income or living situation promptly to avoid overpayments. All right, this is the part you've been waiting for. 7 proven strategies to make sure you're getting the most out of your Social Security benefits in 2026 and beyond. Strategy number 1. Check your My Social Security account immediately. Go to ssa.gov. Log in and review your COLA notice. Make sure the numbers match what you're expecting. Errors happen more often than you think. Wrong earnings records, incorrect benefit calculations, even clerical mistakes. Catching these early can mean thousands of dollars in corrections. Strategy number 2. Do a provisional income calculation right now. Add up your adjusted gross income, your non-taxable interest, and half your Social Security benefit. Know exactly where you stand relative to those IRS thresholds I mentioned earlier. If you're close to a threshold, even small changes in income, like a required minimum distribution from an IRA, could push you over. Strategy number 3. Consider Roth conversions strategically. If you have money in traditional IRAs or 401ks, converting some of that to a Roth IRA, especially in years when your income is lower, can reduce your future required minimum distributions and keep your provisional income below those critical tax thresholds. Yes, you'll pay tax on the conversion now, but you could could save significantly more in the long run. Strategy number 4. Time your income carefully. If you have flexibility in when you take distributions, sell investments, or realize capital gains, try to spread that income across tax years to avoid spiking your provisional income in any single year. This is sometimes called income smoothing, and it can be incredibly effective. Strategy number 5. Review your Medicare options during open enrollment. Don't just accept the default. Look at Medicare Advantage plans, Medigap policies, and Part D prescription drug plans. Sometimes switching plans can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars per year, which effectively gives you a bigger raise than the COLA itself. Strategy number 6. If you're still working and collecting Social Security before your full retirement age, know the earnings test limits. For 2026, the annual earnings limit for those under full retirement age is expected to be approximately $23,400. If you earn more than that, Social Security will withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 over the limit. The good news is that those withheld benefits aren't lost forever. They're added back to your monthly benefit once you reach full retirement age. But in the short term, it can feel like a pay cut. Strategy number 7. Don't go it alone. If your financial situation is even moderately complex, meaning you have multiple income sources, investments, a pension, or a working spouse, consider consulting with a financial advisor or tax professional who specializes in retirement planning. A one-time consultation can pay for itself many times over by identifying strategies specific to your situation. Let me give you the honest, big picture view for a moment. The Social Security Trust Fund is currently projected to be depleted by approximately 2033 to 2035. Now, depleted does not mean bankrupt. Even after the trust fund reserves are exhausted, ongoing payroll tax revenue would still cover roughly 75 to 80% of scheduled benefits. But that potential 20 to 25% cut is something every American needs to be aware of and plan for. Congress has several options on the table: raising the payroll tax cap, adjusting the retirement age, modifying the benefit formula, or some combination of all three. But so far, no comprehensive reform has been enacted. What does this mean for you? It means that while Social Security remains a critical foundation of retirement income, relying on it as your only source of income is increasingly risky. Diversification through personal savings, employer retirement plans, and other income sources is more important than ever. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because being informed is the first step to being prepared. All right, that is your complete breakdown of the 2026 Social Security COLA increase. The real numbers, the hidden costs, the tax traps, and 7 strategies to protect every dollar you've earned. Knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge is literally money in your pocket. If this video helped you understand your benefits better, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to more people who need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We put out the most detailed, no-fluff Social Security updates on YouTube. Subscribe now and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you happy with the 2.8% COLA, or do you think it should be higher? I read every single comment and I want to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.